All right, testing 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm thinking about something here. Let me just see if I can add a 3D model. All right, never mind. All right, so in today's tutorial, we're going to be implementing the leap 180 system. So what that means is that we're going to be able to leap from one side to the other. So let's say the character is right over here, and the player presses D for example, to maybe with the intention of jumping to the other ledge. So the way we're going to do this is by adding this free trace so that the trace can position itself and direct to that area. So it's pretty much it. So let's say, for example, right here, the character is right over here. And then if you press D, instead of launching a trace to the right side, we're going to launch a trace to the backwards of the character, on the back of the character, right? So yeah, let's try that. So we have three traces right here. One is for the 2D ledge navigation, and the other one is for performing a trace to detect available outer corners for the outer corner movement, right? So the character will be able to basically do a outer corner movement, which is going to be just for going from one ledge to the other, doing a 90-degree angle. For inner corners, you don't use a third trace because it's not really needed. So this is the place where you do the sphere trace, right? We have only 2 sphere traces right now. What else can I say here? In the future, we could make it to be just one trace. Just one single trace, but I don't really recommend to do that yet because we're still in the development of this ledge system. This is just the beginning. We have a lot of other animations to add. So we're going to stick with that. All right, so we're going to create a new variable. It's going to be a boolean, and this one is going to be something like should search for leap, or maybe should leap 180, something like this. So we're going to set this variable. And based on this value right here, we're going to decide if the character should do a 180 leap or not. So we need to make a system where if you are hanging on the ledge, let's say in this position right here, and then you aim at that in that position, like where the camera is at, we have to calculate where the camera rotation is facing at and where the character is rotated at. So we need to get 2 references. One is where the camera is facing, and the other one is where the character is facing, so that we know and calculate how exactly we should place, when exactly we should place that third trace to detect the leap, and essentially be able to make the character to leap 180 degrees Celsius, not Celsius. All right, so I think here we need just 3 informations. One is for getting the reference of the camera, where the camera is facing at, and where the character is facing at. Combining those two values with the other value, which is with the other condition, which is if the player is pressing the D key. So as you can see, if I press the D key right now, the character only goes to the right because we don't have that system yet. So we're going to basically say if the camera is in this position specifically, and if the character is facing this direction, which is the one that he's facing right now, and if you press D, we're going to consider this a 180 leap action attempt, would say, right? Because when you press D, essentially what you're doing, I think we could consider it the intention that the player wants to go to this side, to the other side, right? So that's what I think it's the best way to do it. All right, so we're going to get the control rotation. So get control rotation. And if you want, you can debug this value to see which values you get in here. But basically, let me just debug these values here just to let you know how that works. As you can see, when I move the camera, those values change. So as you can see on the y-axis, those values are changing, and depending on where the camera is facing, the numbers, they change respectively. Consequentially. And the other information we need is the actor rotation. So get actor rotation. So we're going to use the actor rotation, the information of the actor rotation, the information of where the camera is facing at. So we're going to use the Delta Rotator, which is a very good node that's used for getting the difference of the rotation between the two. So essentially here is going to get the rotation difference of A, and then it's going to compare it to B. So it's going to get the rotation reference of where the camera is facing at and compare it with the current actor rotation. And then here we're going to get the difference on the Z op, because that's the rotation of the character, like on this axis right here, the rotation Z mostly. Have you tried this with AI? No, not yet. In range float. In range float. So we're going to put up some values in here. Those values are the ones that I found the best to work with. Hello, Alison. What's up? So this code essentially makes it so that we can calculate the difference of where the camera and the character is facing, get the difference of them, and then also consider where the player, which key the player is pressing. All right. Um, this is a function. So we're gonna need a third trace. Basically the same thing in here. Just basically copy paste. So by creating this function here, I'm gonna create just a function just to place and to just set the position of where that trace is going to be at. It's very important to have separate functions and not try to reuse them because they're very different. So I'm just going to put it in the graph and we're going to make it pure. And the first thing I'm going to do here is just add the return node. So you're going to get the actor location, add up, for the vector, multiply by 5, multiply by 240. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit tricky because we need to set up, we need to put the object types in here. And if you don't know how, yeah, that's a little bit complex to explain, but essentially what we need in here is just the object type to be in the outputs of that function. So in here, if you hover over it, you can know exactly which type of variable we really need. So as you can see, this is the object type carry enums. So we're gonna have to go to the return node, or if you want to, no, yeah, I think that's not gonna work. So you can go to the outputs and go to trace query, something like this. Yeah, trace type of query. And then, yeah, this one is for the visibility parameter, but that, yeah, that one doesn't work. Array of e-object type. So e-object type query, and then that's going to be an array. Wait, I'll just be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry for the long wait. All right, looks like we have a problem here. Let's see. Yeah, we need to make this a array. So we're just going to change its type to array, compile. Then we come back in here, just plug it in. It's gonna work. So make array, and then make it to be ledge. So that I can identify the ledge stripes that we place in the world. And then we're missing just one, which is the draw debug type. This one is the draw debug trace. So draw debug trace. And then this one is going to be single. And then we can connect it to here. Now we can just select based on the debug option that we have. Get the debug ledge system. So if it's true, we're going to set it to be for 1 frame. And if it's false, no, let's do for duration just to see how it's gonna go. If it's false, then it's none, which is great. Yeah, that's pretty much what we gotta do in here. And then place, of course, the start and then the end in there. If you want to change the names, you can also do that. So this is going to be start, just to organize a little bit better. This one is going to be ledge object type. Something like this. Type. This one is going to be draw debug type. All right. Now the radius for this one is going to be 30. The half height is 55. Nothing much special here. Hello, Morningstar. What's up? We're doing the leap 180. Let's see if it's gonna work. So for now, we've just what we've done so far is just make the trace to detect the 180 leap. As you can see, when you aim right, it should leap. As you can see right there. And also when you go to the side, when you press left. Let me see if I have... Do you guys remember how can I get the gamepad controller simulation? I forgot how to do it. So view controls maybe, simulate press, no. We're doing, today we're doing the leap 180. Yeah, I forgot how to show up the fake gamepad controller. Anyways. Now we need to set up the ledge 180 animation. Let me see if I can find it in here. 180. I think it's leap. Oh, this one. All right, so I'm gonna go to process ledge target data. I'm not sure if we need to do something in here. Determine ledge direction. Leap 180. Okay. Yeah, I've never done this part yet, so I'm just thinking a little bit how I'm gonna do this. But yeah, so as we have the boolean called should leap 180, we need to have the enumeration in the enumerator as well, or the value in the enumeration, right? So that's the enumeration that we're going to be modifying. It's called the montage selection enumeration. So we have all the direction possibilities that the character can go to. So all we need to do is just add a new enumerator, and let's say leap 180. Yeah, it should be it. So I'm just going to save everything. Leap 180 is there. So all we need to do now is set the that direction, leap 180, if the character is going to be leaping. Like this. So if the character is going to leap, we're just going to set the direction selection in there. I think that's all we gotta do to check, and then return node in there. Oops. And take this option to be true. Yeah. There we go. Now let me see the other thing. Now it's in the determine ledge direction. I've already done it. Now it's the ledge montage selector. So we've already determined the ledge direction where the character is going to go exactly. We've already placed the animation that's going to be played for the leap 180. Inside the animation montage, we already selected the right slot to play the animation. We also created the new variable in here, new value. So now we're going to determine, which montage is going to be played inside of here. Let me see how I'm going to do this, because it requires some values. Yeah, I think that's going to be easy to make. So before we're checking for any direction, we're going to check first if the character is going to do a 180 leap action, so that we can make sure to execute that movement before checking for the other directions. All right, so we're going to get its angle within range. We're going to duplicate it. Here we're going to add 160 and 180. Now I'm not sure about the delay, which delay until correction I should place in here. But I think we could keep it as it is. Maybe this is going to be 0.5. And then, yeah, that's it. All right, let's test it out. Let's see if the animation is going to play. What? Okay. So this should be right over here. There we go. Okay, let's try it out. Yeah, Okay, let's try to reduce the delay until correction. Maybe, let's say .2. I think let me just place the character a little bit over here. I think the calculation for the timeline is not moving the character at all. At all. So, wait, what is this new parameter here? Pile. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. Yeah, let's check it out. Let's see if the timelines are running. Timelines. Yeah, the timelines are running, but it's not working. Oh yeah, I think we need to define in here. There's going to be 180 leap. All right. Hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. Looks like we're gonna have to firstly decide. Okay, wait. Okay. The character moved a little bit forward. After 2 seconds. Hmm. Yeah. Wait. Forward. Oh, if this works, the character is going to be launched a lot of meters forward. Yeah, it works. So let's do -20 to see what is the right value for this one. Oh yeah, I also have to change this this bug. When you press the middle mouse button, as you can see, you can change into the character into the strafe mode. So strafe. So we're going to get the already climbing. So if the character is already climbing, then don't do anything. Strafe, I think that's the input action. Yeah, it is. So if you're climbing, you can try to press. As you can see, it's not working now. That's good. What type of game are you making? I'm not making any game. I'm just helping people by teaching things new. At the same way I help companies prototype their game. Hey, I have a quick question. Can you do a grab system so you can grab an enemy from behind and walk with them like in Call of Duty or sometime? Like in Call of Duty? Yeah, I need the animations for that. I don't have the animations, but I can make a very simple system. But right now I'm just focused on the ledge system and on the weapon system. Okay, almost there. As you can see, the character is reaching to its final destination correctly. Okay, almost there. Maybe 70, -77 would work. Yeah, that works. So right now we just need to tweak the just need to tweak the delay until correction. Maybe 6 milliseconds work. But it pretty much depends on the distance as well. As you can see. Yeah, it's going to pretty much depend on the distance. And the character moves a little bit to the left. I'm not sure why. Let's see. Is it just me or the character is moving to the left? Or to the right? Yeah, that's weird. Okay, so when you jump from that ledge to this ledge, so from the right to the left ledge, the character goes a little bit to the right. But when you go the opposite, the character moves to the left, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening there. I sent a video through Discord general chat. I think the parameters for the inner corner detection is wrong because when doing inner corners, it always goes not set up. Well, mine is totally different. Did you download the project? Because I think that's how it is in the project. But these are the values for the inner corner detector. If you want to use it and test it out and check. Oh yeah, it's doing not set up, as you can see right here. So if you're getting not set up in there, it's the if it's the inner corner. Yeah, it's pretty much the enumerator, because if you have the enumerator to be set not set up, that means that the ledge detection system is not working. Oh, I didn't download the project. I created it myself, the Patreon tutorial. Yeah, we're gonna have to watch the macro maybe, because I've created the macro. It's not like this. It's not like this right now. It's like this. Wait. Oh no, that's the other. That's the other one. Okay. Left inner corner. But check this one. Okay, what you're showing is the ledge montage selector by direction, right? But I think your problem is in here. You have to check your inner corner detector, because you're getting not set up for some reason. You're gonna have to check that out. Yeah, let me just try to figure out why that's not happening. Why I'm having issues with the leap 180. So if you do -40, the character is going to be too much. It's going to move too much to that direction. Let's say 300. Let's see if that works. Okay, so from going to one ledge that is on the left to the right, you go to the left. But if you do the opposite, you go to the left as well. Okay, interesting. To the left and to the left as well. Okay. That's very interesting. Yeah, so we just need to tweak these values. Maybe 20 or 5 works. All right, so I guess that's it. Let me just check your values, Morningstar, so that I can finish this live stream. Yeah, this one is right. This is the inner corner checker. Can you show me this window? The outer corner detector, I think the problem is there. Here, you need to set the instead of right 90 in outer corner, you need to set 90 inner corner. I also I also did the same mistake. I think you followed my mistake. Sorry for that. But you need to set, instead of right outer corner, you need to set it to be right 90 inner corner. Can you send me your project? Then I can check it out, because I have to end the stream right now. So send me the project and I can take a look, because maybe I have some bugs that I didn't explain in the live stream that I fixed, maybe. So yeah, that's going to be it. So you can send me the project and I can take a look. All right. So that's going to be it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed. And for the next live stream, we're going to be making the freehang system, which is going to be really good. We're going to try to use the animations that we have available in the pack. Yeah, so in general, we're going to try to make the system very complete, use most of the animations, at least 75-80% of the animations that are in the pack, because there's a lot of animations we can use. A lot of variations as well for climbing, for the legend navigation itself. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see the system pretty much done. And I'm very curious to see the final result as well. So with that being said, I see you guys.